Stop wasting your time on weight loss mistakes that are secretly keeping you stuck. If you've been trying to lose weight but nothing is working, this video might change everything for you. Because the truth is, it's not your fault, you've just been doing it the wrong way. Weight loss sounds complicated to most people, but in reality, it's actually very simple at its core. The real problem is not the process itself, but the way people approach it. Many beginners believe they need to completely change their lifestyle overnight, follow strict diets, cut out all their favorite foods, and push themselves through intense workout routines every single day. This extreme mindset creates pressure, stress, and unrealistic expectations, which makes the journey feel overwhelming right from the start. Instead of building something sustainable, people try to force fast results, and that's where things start to fall apart. When someone drastically reduces their calorie intake, their body doesn't just accept it quietly. It reacts. Energy levels drop, hunger increases, and cravings become stronger than ever. The person starts feeling tired, irritated, and mentally drained. At the same time, jumping into intense workouts without proper preparation can lead to soreness, fatigue, and even injuries. This combination of extreme dieting and overtraining creates a negative experience, making weight loss feel like punishment rather than progress. And because it's so difficult to maintain, most people eventually give up, thinking they lack discipline or willpower. But the truth is, discipline is not the issue here. The real issue is sustainability. Weight loss is not about doing everything perfectly for a short period of time. It's about doing the right things consistently over a long period of time. Small, manageable changes are far more powerful than big, temporary efforts. For example, simply reducing portion sizes slightly, choosing water over sugary drinks, or adding a short daily walk can create a calorie deficit without putting too much stress on the body or mind. These changes might seem small on their own, but when done consistently, they add up and create real results. Another important factor is building habits instead of relying on motivation. Motivation comes and goes, and it's not something you can depend on every single day. Habits, on the other hand, become automatic over time. When you start focusing on simple routines like eating balanced meals, staying active throughout the day, and making better food choices, these actions slowly become part of your lifestyle. This removes the constant mental struggle and makes the process feel more natural and less forced. What makes this approach effective is that it allows flexibility. You don't have to give up everything you enjoy or follow a rigid plan that makes you feel restricted. You can still eat your favorite foods in moderation while staying on track. This balance helps you stay consistent without feeling deprived, which is one of the biggest reasons people fail with extreme methods. When you enjoy the process, you're much more likely to stick with it. Over time, these small habits create a strong foundation for long-term success. Instead of chasing quick results that disappear just as fast, you're building a lifestyle that supports your health and fitness goals in a realistic way. Progress may feel slower at first, but it's steady and sustainable, which is exactly what leads to lasting change. You don't need a perfect diet to lose weight. And that's one of the biggest misconceptions beginners struggle with. Many people believe that in order to see results, they have to follow a strict meal plan, eliminate entire food groups, or eat bland and boring meals every single day. This idea of perfection creates unnecessary pressure and often leads to frustration because it's almost impossible to maintain over time. The truth is, weight loss doesn't require perfection, it requires improvement. You don't have to overhaul everything at once. You just need to make better choices than you did before. A good place to start is by looking at what you currently eat on a daily basis. Most people don't even realize how many extra calories they consume through small habits like sugary drinks, snacks, or oversized portions. Instead of trying to fix everything overnight, focus on making simple adjustments. For example, swapping soda for water or a zero-calorie drink can significantly reduce your daily calorie intake without making you feel restricted. Choosing grilled or baked foods instead of fried options is another small change that can make a big difference over time. Portion control is another powerful tool that often gets overlooked. You don't necessarily have to stop eating your favorite foods, you just need to be mindful of how much you're eating. By slightly reducing portion sizes, you can still enjoy the foods you love while staying within a calorie range that supports weight loss. This approach feels much more realistic because it doesn't involve cutting out everything you enjoy, which is one of the main reasons people give up on strict diets. Protein also plays a key role when it comes to improving your diet. Adding more protein to your meals can help you feel fuller for longer, which naturally reduces the chances of overeating. Foods like chicken, eggs, fish, beans, yogurt, and lean meats are great options to include in your daily routine. You don't have to track every gram or follow complicated rules, just aim to include a good source of protein in each meal. This simple habit can make your diet more satisfying and easier to stick to. Another important part of this approach is flexibility. When people try to follow a perfect diet, they often feel guilty the moment they eat something outside their plan. That guilt can quickly turn into a cycle of overeating and frustration. But when you focus on eating better instead of eating perfectly, you allow yourself room to enjoy life while still making progress. One meal or one snack doesn't define your results. What matters is what you do consistently over time. This mindset shift makes the entire process feel less stressful and more sustainable. Instead of constantly worrying about rules and restrictions, you start focusing on building a balanced way of eating that fits your lifestyle. You learn to make smarter choices without feeling forced, and over time, those choices become habits. That's what leads to real, lasting results, not temporary diets that only work for a short period of time. Movement plays a much bigger role in weight loss than most beginners realize, but it's often misunderstood. When people think about getting fit, they immediately picture intense gym sessions, heavy lifting, or exhausting cardio routines that leave them completely drained. That idea alone can feel intimidating, especially if you're just starting out. The truth is, you don't need to jump into extreme workouts to begin losing weight. What really matters in the beginning is simply moving your body more throughout the day. A lot of weight loss actually comes from increasing your overall daily activity, not just from structured exercise. This includes things like walking, standing more often, taking the stairs, doing household chores, or even just staying less sedentary. These small actions might not feel like real workouts, but they burn calories and help create the deficit your body needs to lose weight. For someone who is new to fitness, this approach is much easier to maintain because it doesn't feel overwhelming or exhausting. Walking, in particular, is one of the most effective and underrated tools for beginners. It's simple, free, and doesn't require any special skills or equipment. You can start at your own pace and gradually increase your steps over time. Even aiming for something like 7,000 to 10,000 steps a day can have a noticeable impact on your progress if done consistently. The beauty of walking is that it doesn't put too much stress on your body, so you're less likely to burn out or get injured. As you become more comfortable with moving your body, you can start adding basic workouts into your routine. But even then, the goal is not to go all out. You don't need complicated programs or long sessions in the gym. Starting with just 2 or 3 short workouts per week is more than enough. Focus on simple exercises like squats, push-ups, lunges, and light cardio such as cycling or jogging. These movements help build strength and improve your overall fitness without making the process feel too difficult. One of the biggest mistakes beginners make is trying to do too much too soon. They go from doing almost nothing to pushing themselves every single day, which quickly leads to fatigue and loss of motivation. When your body isn't used to that level of activity, it needs time to adapt. By starting slow and building up gradually, you give yourself a better chance to stay consistent and avoid burnout. Consistency is what truly makes movement effective. Doing a little bit every day is far more powerful than doing a lot for a short period of time and then stopping completely. When you create a routine that fits into your daily life, it becomes easier to stick with it. Over time, your body becomes stronger, your stamina improves, and you naturally start doing more without even realizing it. This approach also helps shift your mindset. Instead of seeing exercise as something difficult or something you have to force yourself to do, it becomes a normal part of your lifestyle. You start to enjoy the feeling of being active, and that positive association makes it easier to keep going. And as your activity level increases, so does your progress, creating a cycle that supports long-term weight loss and overall health. Consistency is the real secret behind successful weight loss. But it's often overlooked because people tend to chase motivation instead. In the beginning, motivation feels powerful. You watch a video, get inspired, and suddenly you feel ready to change everything about your life. You plan your meals, commit to workouts, and promise yourself that this time you won't quit. But the problem is, motivation doesn't last. It fades. Some days you wake up tired, stressed, or simply not in the mood to follow your routine. And when motivation disappears, most people stop taking action. This is where consistency becomes more important than anything else. Consistency means showing up even when you don't feel like it. It means sticking to your habits on both good days and bad days. You're not relying on how you feel in the moment, you're relying on the routine you've built. That's what creates real progress over time. Because weight loss is not about what you do once in a while. It's about what you do repeatedly, day after day. One of the biggest mindset shifts you need to make is understanding that you don't have to be perfect to be consistent. A lot of people believe that if they miss a workout or eat something unhealthy, they've failed. That kind of thinking leads to an all-or-nothing cycle where one small mistake turns into giving up completely. But consistency doesn't mean perfection. It means getting back on track as quickly as possible. If you miss one workout, you show up for the next one. If you overeat one day, you make better choices the next day. It's about staying in the game, no matter what. Another important part of consistency is keeping things realistic. If your plan is too strict or too demanding, it becomes harder to follow regularly. For example, trying to work out every single day or cutting your calories too low might work for a short time, but it's not sustainable. Instead, you want a routine that fits your lifestyle, something you can follow even on your busiest days. This could mean shorter workouts, simple meals, or flexible eating habits that don't make you feel restricted. When your plan feels manageable, you're much more likely to stick with it long term. Consistency also builds momentum. In the beginning, results may feel slow, and that can be frustrating. But when you keep showing up and doing the right things, those small efforts start to add up. Over time, you begin to notice changes, not just in your body, but in your energy levels, your confidence, and your mindset. These improvements reinforce your habits and make it easier to keep going. Another benefit of consistency is that it reduces decision-making. When you have a routine, you don't have to constantly think about what to do next. Your actions become automatic. You know what you're going to eat, when you're going to move, and how you're going to stay on track. This removes a lot of the mental pressure and makes the process feel smoother and more natural. At the end of the day, consistency is what separates people who achieve their goals from those who don't. It's not about being the most motivated or the most disciplined person in the world. It's about being reliable with your actions, even when things aren't perfect. When you focus on showing up again and again, You create a pattern of success that leads to long-term results and lasting change. The number on the scale can feel like the most important part of your weight loss journey, but relying on it too much can actually hold you back. Many beginners step on the scale expecting to see constant progress, and when that doesn't happen, they quickly become discouraged. It's easy to believe that if the number isn't going down every day or every week, then nothing is working. But the truth is, the scale only tells a small part of the story, and sometimes it can be misleading. Your body weight naturally fluctuates from day to day for many different reasons that have nothing to do with fat loss. Things like water retention, how much food you've eaten, your sleep, stress levels, and even hormones can all affect the number you see. This means you could be doing everything right, eating better, moving more, staying consistent, and still not see the scale change right away. In some cases, it might even go up temporarily. When people don't understand this, they assume they're failing, and that's when they start losing motivation. What really matters is the bigger picture. Weight loss is not a straight line where everything goes perfectly every single day. It's a gradual process with ups and downs along the way. If you focus only on the scale, you might miss the progress that's happening in other areas. For example, your clothes might start fitting better, your body might feel lighter, or you might notice that you have more energy throughout the day. These are real signs that your habits are working, even if the scale hasn't caught up yet. Another important factor to consider is body composition. As you improve your lifestyle, especially if you add some form of strength training or increase your activity, your body can start building muscle while losing fat. Muscle is denser than fat, which means it takes up less space but can weigh more. So even if your weight doesn't drop significantly, your body can still look leaner and more toned. This is why two people can weigh the same but look completely different. Instead of relying only on the scale, it's helpful to track your progress in different ways. Pay attention to how your clothes fit, take progress photos, or notice changes in your strength and endurance. These indicators give you a more complete understanding of what's happening with your body. They also help you stay motivated because you can see and feel the improvements beyond just a number. It's also important to shift your mindset from short-term results to long-term change. If you're constantly checking the scale and expecting quick results, you're more likely to feel frustrated and give up. But when you focus on building healthy habits and improving your lifestyle, the results will come naturally over time. This approach takes patience, but it leads to lasting success instead of temporary changes. Learning to detach your emotions from the scale is a powerful step in your journey. It allows you to stay consistent without being affected by daily fluctuations. You begin to trust the process instead of questioning it every time you step on the scale. And as you continue making progress, you'll realize that true success isn't defined by a single number, but by the overall transformation in your health, confidence, and daily habits.